You ever been out with friends and realized that you were the only one not getting hit on? And then immediately thinking it's because you exist in a bigger body? It's horrible because you know that like male attention isn't the end all be all, but at the same time it still hurts. I'm curvy, I'm bigger than most of my friends, so my first instinct is like, oh, they don't want a bigger girl. This past summer I was at a hostel and I saw these guys. I went to introduce myself and I was standing next to this girl that was just like complete Victoria's Secret, like the old Victoria's Secret supermodel vibes. And I was like, hi, I'm Juliana. And while he was shaking my hand, he was literally looking at her, being like, nice to meet you. And you guys, I got so mad. After that, he didn't talk to me again, and I got so mad. I left the bar and I wrote like slam poetry on my phone because it was so many years of like pent up anger and frustration that I feel like I didn't even get the chance to introduce myself. I didn't even get the chance to like meet them and let them get to know me. I felt like I was cast aside, and I felt like I didn't have any inherent value to men because I wasn't skinny, which is horrible. Any of my other curvy mid-sized people that want to vent or tell me what you think about this, let me know. I'd love to know if I'm not alone in this.
Well, wouldn't hurt to lose some weight.
I just made the first move and I gave my number to someone in the tube.
Basically what happened, I was on a platform waiting for my tube and there was this guy next to me. He looked at me, he smiled, I looked at him and I smiled back. Then the tube came and we both went in, but we both went into different carriages. So between us there is like a door and little window, but there is no way, like physical way, to actually speak to him. I saw through the little window that he kept looking at me, smiling to me, and I was there like, do something, what can you do, what can you do? I pulled out my phone and I wrote a message on my phone. Actually, let me show you, it's hard to explain. I put this on a window. He looked at me, he smiled, and he was like, yep. Then he came closer to the window and he pulled out his phone and I put this on a window. And he wrote it down, he showed it to me, I said, yep, good to go, and he left. As soon as he left and the tube moved, me sitting in the tube, I realized I panicked so much, so I actually gave him the wrong number. I fucked up my own number. I'm usually too scared to do anything like this. Like, I was actually shaking. And I did it. And I gave him the wrong number. Anyways, if you or your friend knows anyone who took tube this morning, Northern Line from Clapham, let me know. Maybe we'll find him.
I don't think he wants to be found anyways.
I have an honest question for the gentlemen, really, but for women, please chime in. Being new to the dating world, since I've just put myself back out there, I have noticed that people my age, men my age and younger, are no longer walking up to women and trying to engage in a conversation. They're no longer coming up asking for a number. They are not, and if a number is exchanged, it is few and far between texts or calls that you receive. Even though there is a mutual connection, there's a mutual attraction. But the older generation absolutely does. The older generation walks up, strikes a conversation, all of that. So my question is why? Why is it that the younger generation, why do you guys not do that? Why do you not walk up to women anymore? Why do you not try to go further along after you've gotten the number and start an initial conversation?
It's a waste of time.
I had one night in London before I went to Greece for my friend's birthday, and I had not one but two guys approach me organically, and I literally don't remember the last time a guy talked to me in Vancouver. So I'm in London, I have a flight the next day, and I go to this rooftop bar. Cute guy sits next to me at the bar. We end up chatting. He is an absolute catch, and he bought me dinner. Then we moseyed to like a night place and he was really nice, but at that point I was kind of getting friend vibes, so I kind of wandered off. And I kid you not, I was at a bar for 60 seconds before the next guy came and said hi to me, who was also gorgeous and so nice and such a catch. And I know on vacation you bring this other like kind of energy, like you're in vacation mode and you're just, you know, you're like the best version of yourself. But what are the odds that I had two amazing options come to me in one night in London?
They were publicly drunk?
Do you know what the irony of her story is? After all of those years, it doesn't seem she's done anything about it. She's still the same size, so although she wants men to approach her, and knows what to do in order to compel men to approach her, she just wants to vent on social media about her problems.
Oh, boo-hoo!
You are not going to find him anytime soon. Better luck next time. The older generation has probably not been brainwashed and accused of harassment like how the younger generation have. The younger and middle-aged generations have become accustomed to hearing the Western cesspool of feminist media. The older generation don't have this problem because they've been less likely to have been exposed to this kind of propaganda. It isn't just the older generation who are free from this, but many countries that still have traditional values are also free from the stigma and pressure of approaching women for relationships.
Oh, good for them.
Notice with the first guy who approached her, he bought her dinner and she ate it all up. Then she friend-zoned him and walked away. What a waste of his time and money that was. She does not mention what happened with the second guy, but I'm guessing she either did the same thing or she got her back blown out and he ghosted her. I'm only assuming this because if it went further into some type of dating or relationship, she probably would have mentioned it.
For sure.
Real men of genius.
The wall takes no prisoners. Riding the carousel is more like playing musical chairs. Too many people, mostly women, haven't grabbed a chair by the time the music stops playing. The past 25 years, women have been difficult for men. It used to be that you could meet a female of whatever age and impress her and tell her she is pretty without her getting the idea that you are hitting on her. Today, just saying hello and the females will yell out, "Stop hitting on me." Western women are unapproachable, disrespectful, and completely toxic and have to creep shame men. The problem isn't men not approaching women anymore, to be honest. It's women who make themselves unapproachable in the first place. And let's not forget radical feminism, the best of turn-offs. Western women sure know how to turn a straight man completely off. Most men these days are told they're not good enough. They grow up watching their mothers belittle their fathers. Their sisters and female friends say nothing but negative things about their boyfriends or ex-boyfriends. And society continues to paint men as evil or hapless idiots who have childish interests and are losers who need to change just to get a woman to tolerate them. When we try to show interest, the response is usually contempt or ridiculous mind games. When we talk about our feelings, we're called weak. When we try to pursue women and they reject us and we voice our frustrations, we're told, "You're not entitled to feel jilted." And then you get the ones who still try, because maybe it's just a matter of persistence and trying to project a sense of confidence. But who the hell is actually confident in themselves? Who genuinely believes in themselves apart from the deluded and mentally ill? And of course they're not confident. They've had it beaten into them that they're expendable, that they're worthless. Why, in the name of everything good and holy, would a normal, everyday, emotional human being want to approach a woman if they've spent their entire lives being told they're dirt? Any of these women that get depressed when no man approaches them, or should I say that the man they don't want approaches them, these women could instantly ruin the man's life if he approached them. A woman could very easily make a false allegation of rape or physical abuse against a man that approached her, and then his life would be over. Even if he was proven innocent, it would always be on his record. There are cameras everywhere. Flirting is no longer a sport. It's a hazard. A lot of these men were married or had significant others. A little harmless flirting, not when you're being watched. Today, everybody knows your business. Near where I live, the Boulder Daily Camera seems to literally publish an article about every man charged with sexual assault in the city of Boulder. That will be there forever. Every time someone Googles his name, in the first page of results, there will be a story about his alleged sexual assault. Maybe you would say, that's unlikely, and maybe you're right. But in the course of a relationship with a woman, she will have multiple opportunities to do that, or use the implicit threat of it when nagging him to do things for her, or as grounds for property or custody in family courts. The only type of men that should approach women are men that have mentally prepared them for the possibility of prison, poverty, or death. See statistics on male suicide rates after divorce if you doubt me here, as the result of a relationships. Those are all very real and tangible outcomes. Men have gotten smarter. They've realized just how dangerous women can be. Today, if a man approaches a woman and speaks to her, she could accuse him of anything she likes with no evidence, no proof, no witnesses, and he could end in jail with a 400-pound cellmate named Leroy, who takes an unnatural liking to him. The trouble isn't worth it. If you watch House of Cards, you would see that women want a leader like Frank Underwood in their life, but can't even match up to being a Claire. Unfortunately, a lot of women pin the responsibility to fill their emotional void on a man or multiple men. This leads to a highly toxic relationship where the man is simply a means to an end. Few women today are truly equal to their man in a relationship. We need a strong woman who can be a life partner to reach our mutual goals, not a clingy woman calling us every 5 minutes to discuss minutiae. Moreover, it's easier for women by supply and demand to just coast in a relationship, seeing the supply-demand. Men simply decided the trouble isn't worth it. Women, up your game. Imagine you're a man. You have 2 options. 1. You could get dressed up, get in a car, go to a bar, restaurant, drop some money on drinks, work up your courage, talk to a girl, get rejected, talk to another girl and get rejected again, talk to a third girl and maybe get a number and maybe get rejected again, go home after 3 hours feeling exhausted, tired and rejected. Or 2. You could lay in your bed, watch a movie on Netflix, spend a few minutes and $0 swiping and typing, and end up with a number. We don't pursue women anymore because it's really not worth it. It's like having $100 and taking $100 more from the bank and investing in a stock market with highest risk stock. There may be a good return, but chances are that there will be no return at all. Also, women are stressing too much recently. They just want everything, even if most of them don't deserve it. If things work out, it's great. But if it doesn't work out, men could be put in sex offender list, move from mansion to studio, pay alimony, basically screw up at so many levels that a man will die to overcome a screw up. Also, use of social media and extreme gossip. If a woman does not like a man, she can demote that man in front of more than 100 women in less than 100 seconds. Hence nowadays, men prefer to stay near the bar and drink a martini and wait for women to approach, simply because women have too much power. While we work very hard for most of the things in life, we cannot allow a woman to screw up years of hard work just because men tried to approach first without knowing women's intentions. Too risky, no time for bullshit. Anyway, that's all for today on Manhood. Remember to smash the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.